The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Opening play, and Goff wants to pass it. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And nothing to speak of there after the catch as they get him right to the ground at the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Goff. He'll let this go deep for St. Brown. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Here's 3rd and 6. Now Goff. There's Laporta. He's got it. Touchdown, Lions. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said. Better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Another carry now for Madison. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8. Cousins now. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This 2nd and 4. Now Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Well, Brandon, obviously no panic in them. They gave up the touchdown. You know, their defensive side did that. But he's already taken them back downfield. I love this field general that they've got. It's almost like he went to the defensive captain and said, don't worry about it. We've got you. Now they got 1st and goal.
Yeah, we're seeing punch, counter punch, and this could be setting the table for quite the game.
I like that. Let's go ahead and put it in the boxing ring, right? You're going to get hit sometimes. Can you respond and hit back? And they're trying to do exactly that.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Tried to pop it outside, no luck. Are you okay with that call on first down from there?
I am if they believe in running the football, and that's who they are, and that's their identity. What you're worried about in this situation, running it here, now with the loss of yardage, because the defense has forced you back a little bit, it changes your play call, and I think you're committed to the pass from here on out.
Now from the 7, here's second and goal. Going to run with Madison again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on second down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it. But I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up second and goal. First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Throwing is Cousins. His pass caught at the 4. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson from 8 yards out. And the Vikings are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. The long drive last time out for this offense, Charles, if you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. Here's 3rd and 9. First run of the game for Jahmyr Gibbs, the Alabama product. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Goff now to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jonathan Bullard with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll throw from the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. In trouble, and he's taken down. Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. So he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards.
And that was another Justin Jefferson special. Went up over the top of the defender and snagged it. He may look like he's covered, but he finds a way to uncover at the end of plays. 6'1" listed, plays like he's 6'5", and jumps like he's 10 feet tall.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll go Madison up the middle. And he is going to lose yardage here. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Cousins to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Third and 2. They go play action. Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. K.J. Osborne, 37 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Goff. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted.
Oh, this is a great play right here by a very versatile linebacker. It's a zone defense, so he's responsible for one area of the field. And Brandon, I don't think the quarterback ever saw him. Or if he did, he saw him too late because he snuck into a great position there to pick that one off.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Pass complete to Addison. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jefferson going to go in motion right. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Cousins. Addison hauls it in. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Boy, still in the 1st quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Joseph on for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Goff. They've got his man complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got to pick me for? It's my turn now to make the big play, and that's exactly what he did.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the 2nd time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Going to begin the drive here with Madison. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Cousins, and the throw here caught by Addison. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Now Cousins. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. This one caught by Osborne, right side. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely. No matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This one brought in by Jefferson. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Now a give to Madison. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Again, Madison. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Joseph now to add the PAT. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. Right at the 30. They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
And now they can't even get a play off. And they'll accept that penalty. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Goff. That's complete to Laporta. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 more on that one and another first down. Gibbs straight ahead. And he gets it down to the 32. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 4. Another run for Gibbs here. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. Down to the 22-yard line.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
On second down, here's Gibbs. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 42 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Montgomery is in for a Lions touchdown. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
They're going to keep it on the ground. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Madison. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Play fake, Cousins. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Jack Campbell with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that flag accepted. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hit 0, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
Clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost some 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And they just did not get the snap away in time. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Well, perhaps the center has a little stage fright here. Let's see if he can do better this time. It's now 1st and 30. Now gone. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
And the defense says they have it. They do. One play into the ball game, an early turnover. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Badgley's kick is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Minnesota's offense takes over possession, and we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd down, Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
On the handoff, it's Madison. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Here's Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
They'll run with Madison.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd.
And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 28. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Play action now. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. To throw is Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The end result, 21 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Madison. Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Cousins.
There's Hawkinson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings.
A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Vikings are able to widen their advantage. Joseph connects on the extra point.
And that will make this a 19-point game.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out.
So here come the Lions now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Off play action. Here's Goff. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
And then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
43 yards on the punt. 7-yard return, and the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Going on the ground with Madison.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a 1st down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense, it's really kind of geared to stop that play. Your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Throwing, Cousins.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll look to throw here.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
Jahmyr Gibbs and the rest of the offense headed back out. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line.
53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2nd down and 4. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and a yard. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They've reestablished.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done, so I think going for it there was the right call.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And now Cousins choosing to back away from the line and signal for a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A first down throw for Cousins.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
Well, he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
To throw, Cousins.
Over the middle and hauled in by Osborne.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Again, it's Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
There's Charles Harris getting home for the sack.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. it was a running back, Alexander Madison, who put together a solid first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception.
It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
They've been running it well all game, and why not? The big guys up front, they're just having a ball, creating monster holes for their guys to run through.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 2.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
85 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal forthcoming as he takes this down to about the 5-yard line.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll...
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit.
That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Dan Campbell makes the call. His guys will go for 2 here.
They're going to try and run. And he is not going to get in here. So the decision to go for 2 does not pay off as they're unable to cut any further into their deficit.
I have to admit, I love the excitement of a 2-point try. to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it was unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated. I just realized that I stole both of your pins in this last half of the game. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for two.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul, but the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound, and the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
Cousins now to throw on first down.
This is caught by Addison.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10.
They'll go Madison up the middle. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So out now come the Lions.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Back to the ground. This time Montgomery. 110 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
After another impressive run, the question has to be asked, how do you slow these guys down running the football? I think they're going to try and get more people to the point of attack, try and get more people to the line of scrimmage, almost use a variety of run blitzes in order to try and get it done.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Third down and 1.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So first and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
A give. This is Montgomery.
And this will wind up a Lions first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down and 7.
And off comes to Montgomery.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
16 yards on the play as they try to chip away at this 16-point deficit.
He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? Third level run. First level being the D-line and linebacker. Second level in the secondary, the third. When you block it up well and you make the secondary do all the tackling, that will wear on a defense.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, They've got to pay it off with some points.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Gibbs straight ahead.
And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings 30.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
Runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Montgomery running right. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. A shotgun snap for Goff.
That is caught by Laporta.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Goff now looks to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
First down. Here's Cousins. Open man. He's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Second and 6. Now a give to Madison.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison.
And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Off the play fake, Cousins.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
On the handoff, it's Madison. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Cousins on first down.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field, and it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Detroit's offense ready to take over.
And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At their own 15. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
This is 2nd and 8. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Gone.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. They'll fake the give. Now Goff.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. From the gun, Gibbs will get it.
And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Good starting field position for the Vikings. Just shy of midfield at the
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So the challenge there unsuccessful, and that will take away his final timeout as well. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Oh, now a strip. He loses the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Another run for Gibbs here. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. From the 9, 2nd and 5. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Montgomery is into the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. So this back now to a 10-point spread, and you have to imagine they'll line up and go for 2.
Oh, no question about it. If they can get this to an 8-point game, they can make things awfully interesting here in these last few minutes.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Goff looking to throw. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion, and now we're back to a 1-score game. And that almost makes it a brand-new ball game. Now it's a 1-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
And the touchdown apparently not enough. They want more, an onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies. Cousins to throw it. Oh,
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38.
Aiden Hutchinson in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Cousins now.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Cousins
completes this to Addison out left.
And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to make it 4th down. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down, but you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there, kick it, put it through the post, go up 2 scores.
A little extra pressure with this one for Greg Joseph.
This to make it a 2-score game.
Joseph's got it.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Lions offense set to take over. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10
at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
They'll let this go deep for St. Brown.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Goff.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Here's Madison running on first down. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Now Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings! K.J. Osborne with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
To the sideline and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Goff now looking to throw.
A little short pass here taken in by Laporta.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Here's Goff.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line. A gain of 22 from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41.
Meanwhile, Goff's throw complete there to St. Brown.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Goff.
He'll go right back to St. Brown. Here comes 3rd and about a foot.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a pickup of 6.
Gibbs straight ahead.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
From the 20, here's a 2nd and 5.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Gibbs will try and pick it up.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. They'll run for it with Montgomery. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Once more, Montgomery. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
This likely a must-have. 3rd and goal.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Badgley on for the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now.
Do it again, baby, do it again.
So that about as lengthy a drive as you're ever going to see. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
And now out comes Minnesota. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. It's Brian Branch with it, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
On the give, here's Gibbs.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Here's Goff. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
Hand off now to Gibbs.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Well, there's still hope, but it's dwindling fast. No timeouts left. They need 2 scores still. 1st and 10 here. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4.
Here's 2nd down and 3. They'll go again with Gibbs.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jahmyr Gibbs
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Lions have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone as a two-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the fourth. So the deficit now 3 after the huge conversion, but they need to get the football back.
So this is where special teams really comes into play, because getting the ball back, it starts with this next kickoff. How do they get downfield? Either jar it loose or get the ball back themselves. That's going to be key for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field.
And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock, so 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off.
And they will take a knee here.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11.
They'll go Madison up the middle. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Detroit.